So we just established that there is an eternally powerful, an eternal being who is incomprehensibly intelligent and life-giving. Now we're moving on to this idea of power. As we look into the universe, we see incredible power. We see stars that are huge, giant balls of fire. We see galaxies and galaxies, trillions and trillions of light years away. We see here on Earth this incredible complexity, this amazing complexity that exists. We see fine-tuned conditions for life. We see, it's just amazing. As you gaze up into the stars at night, you wonder, how powerful must this entity be that brought everything into existence? There you have it. It is powerful. And so it has to be powerful in order to have brought everything into existence, in order to be able to sustain everything as the way that it's being sustained. It has to be very, very, very powerful. Frightening. Powerful to a frightening extent. This thing is huge. It has to be. And there is no other way. There is no other option. It must be powerful. And so we just accept that. But at this point we can define what this thing is. An eternally powerful, incomprehensibly intelligent, life-giving entity. And so at this point, video 4, we've established the definition for God. We've established the evidence, because that's the definition of God, an eternally powerful, incomprehensibly intelligent, life-giving entity. And so that's the definition for God. So what we've done is we've demonstrated, based on the evidence, that it is most reasonable to believe that God does exist, based on the evidence that we see around us. And it is unreasonable to believe that God doesn't exist. It's unreasonable to believe that non-life brought into existence life, because it defies observation, it defies science. It is unreasonable to believe that an unintelligent entity brought into existence the incomprehensible complexity that exists and we enjoy on Earth, because that denies and flies in the face of observation. And so that's unreasonable. It's unreasonable to believe and impose the question, well, who created God? Who created this entity? Because that's assuming a time-bound constraint upon something that's timeless, and so therefore it's illogical. And it's also unreasonable to believe that this entity is weak. No, it is very powerful. All we need to do is look at the magnitude of the creation to establish the reality that the Creator must be very, very powerful. And so I don't see any way around this, guys. If you're an atheist or an agnostic, I think you have to change your position. I think you have to come to the conclusion based on the evidence that God does exist. Now, the next question becomes, well, who is he? And we're going to address that in another playlist, but today we've established that God does exist. And we're going to go through a few more evidences that drill hard and establish some of his attributes based on creation. We're not going to ask the question, well, who is he yet? We're going to ask some questions, what is he like? And we can derive those attributes based on creation and the evidence in the world around us. And so that's what we're going to do. So be blessed. Stay tuned for the next videos. Thanks.